The chill playlist was pretty cool. I think we'll just go with that for the time being. Need to make sure it's not too loud. Need to make sure it's not too loud, so give me a sec here. Oh, okay, hold on. Getting music set up, but I am here. Getting music set up, but I am here. Hmm. Right. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. Alrighty, I'm gonna go grab my glasses because Okay, let's see. Alrighty, I'm gonna go grab my glasses because and I need to make sure that this is now muted. Alright, sweet. Let's get going. I just noticed that guys, have a look outside. This is insane. That is quite a bit of snow. Don't need that much snow anymore. Thank you very much. Not what I had in mind. Okay. There we go, we're back. And now I need to set up the camera again. Alright. How are you guys doing? Gonna be working on this lovely neck right here. Oh, got my tea. Got everything laid out, ready to go. So yeah, we're gonna be working on the Celeste 2.0 neck. So this is the guitar that I'm gonna be finishing up this month. It is a one-piece Wenge neck with a Carillion birch fretboard and walnut binding. Hey Armar! Welcome to the stream. Nice to have you here. Thank you very much. It is very nice. I have had these woods prepared and ready to go for about 5 years now, I think, at least. Is it that long? It can't be that long. Is it that long? Wow, I don't know. But yeah, so I've had these for quite a bit and finally getting use out of them. And I just want to really show you how clean that cut is. That is just straight off the bat on a router. And it is insane. Radiant Tools, man. Radiant Tools cutters are the bee's knees. Okay, now I'm trying to think of where I want to start. I don't really need to do the end. I can do that after the stream is over. So I guess, oh, we need access because there's no truss rod access right now. So I need to do that. So that is what we're going to start with and then move on from there. I also need to get my camera set up. Film this. I want to have some of the nice background music too. How is the music? Is it loud enough, too loud, too quiet, or just right? Alright, let's get this truss rod access cut out or drilled out. What I usually like to do is start it off with like a 3mm brad point, something like that. Well, maybe not 3mm. Let's go 4mm. No, yeah. Yeah. 6mm. Just right. Okay, that's good to know. So yeah, I'm gonna start off with a 6mm drill bit, just to kind of get my hole started. But I want to end it being an 8mm drill bit. Now, I don't want to go all the way through with the 6mm, because if I hit the end of the truss rod, I'll break the brad point, and that's not fun. So instead I'm going to use a twist bit to do the very end. Usually, I know the stream can't see this right now, but I have the center line, and usually I end up going just a smidge under the just a little bit under where the fretboard meets the neck. Going pretty slow because I don't want to all of a sudden jump and hit the truss rod. There we go. Just managed to pull it so that it didn't hit anything. That's nice. And then we're going to take an 8mm and open up that hole. I said that very strange. You can barely see what I'm doing. Sorry about that. I will resume work here very soon. Very, very shortly. now I'm using a twist bit. I don't want to go too far because then I'll hit the end of the truss rod and possibly ruin the place for the Allen key to sit. That would be very bad and would make the neck fairly unusable. All right, so that is bang on the money. I wonder if you can actually see that. Probably not, but yeah, bang on the money. It's nice. The next thing we need to do is make sure that the neck is straight, because what we're going to start doing very soon is flattening or radiusing the fretboard, so everything needs to be nice and flat at this point. Also need to film this. Okay, so before radiusing the fretboard, just need to go ahead and check that the neck is straight. Okay. There is a tiny bit of relief in the middle, which is what we want in the end of it, but we need to get rid of that for the time being. So I believe that is the right size. Or not the right size. There's the right size. There we go. So just a quarter turn, and we should be just fine. Ayomar, what radius do you generally use? I use a 16-inch radius because in my experience, or my preferred radius is 16 inches because it feels like a good medium between having a slightly flatter radius for lead playing, and it still feels comfortable for chords without being too rounded over, I don't know. It's just, I've always liked 16-inch as a sort of like medium between everything. Granted, I could do a compound radius going from one to the other, like a 12 to a 16 or something like that, but I don't know. 16 is something that I've just used that forever for the longest time, and I don't really see a point in changing that up until people start saying that it feels uncomfortable or something like that. But so far, everybody who has had one of my necks with the 16 inches, they have all liked it. So why fix it if it's not broke? And I know that there's at least for Raffin guitars, Stephen will agree that 16 is the best radius for many reasons. He has proclaimed that many times. Seems my answers are kind of meh today. I say meh today. I've only started the stream now. Let's not get too carried away here. All right. Let us start radiusing this bad boy. So I've made sure that the fret slots are cut deep enough that radiusing will not be an issue. I do need to cut the excess off of this. don't really have any scrap piece of wood here. Hurts me to do that. This is, what is this? I want to say this is 150 actually, but it is a birch fretboard, so 150 should not be a bad place to start. And then I'll work my way up to, well, I'll work my way up to about 240 or something like that. Ah, almost forgot a very important part. Well, it's not very important, but it helps. Just see where I'm taking off material. So marking it with a pencil. All right. Should also get my radius gauge already out. Hi Mark, what radius do you usually go for now that you asked? Or is there a specific one that you usually go for? Yeah, I like the concept of 12, but I mean, concept of 12, what am I saying? One of my favorite guitars, I think my purple Strat has a 12-inch radius, and it's one of my favorite guitars to play. But, I mean, once again, it really depends on the kind of player that you are. I will, of course, always ask a client what kind of music they play, just to make sure that, I'm getting a radius that is appropriate for their style of playing. I was thinking F9, so flat for better soloing. Well, the general idea for radiuses is that a more round radius is really good for chord playing, especially on the lower frets, and very good for bar chords because you don't need to stretch as much, and your hand already has that sort of radius or that sort of contour to it. Meanwhile, a flatter radius, when I say flatter, I don't mean flat, but it's generally thought that a flatter radius higher up on the frets actually makes soloing much easier because of reasons I can't remember right now. Yeah. These are some of those things where it's like I have talked about them and I've been doing things for so long in a certain way that at the point where I'm running on a cup of tea and a long work day with a lack of sleep, my brain doesn't function to its capacity to actually come to think of why that is. It's just something that is always said. And I don't play guitar, really, so it's hard for me to say what feels nice and what doesn't, because I understand what feels nice for a guitarist, but myself not being a guitarist, I don't feel that in a way. I know what to feel for when I'm making the thing, but for playing the thing, I don't know. I don't play solos, I don't play lead stuff because I don't know how to do that. So I just know that having a nice fall away on the frets and having a flatter radius, that is something that people who play solos have really enjoyed, and I just go with it, basically. It's a very bad answer, I'll give you that. And it's something that, seriously, I should discuss a bit better. Maybe I should make a proper video about it. Due to, my line of work, making guitars, I should be able to talk about this stuff. Anyway, I'm sure that somebody in the comments on YouTube will certainly let me know that I am completely wrong. But I am fine with this. Do correct me if I'm wrong. Please do. And then I will make a corrected video on that subject. Because I don't want to put out bad information out there. I know I'm not far off, but the technicalities of which aren't coming to my mind. Because I understand the chords and having a rounder radius. And I can feel that a flatter radius, at least for myself, feels more comfortable. But I don't really know why it's better for soloing. There, I summarized it. Switch the camera angle because that is not good. I play metal. I ended up enjoying flatter, but some people recommended 12, so I went for 12. Yeah, 12 is pretty standard and something that is very, very common, which is also why I don't do it as much. I try to go a little bit against the grain. Like, I'm not saying 16 inches is uncommon, it's common as well. There's a lot of guitars that do have 16-inch radiuses, but it's just, well, let's put it in this way. I am from a country where we do have a guitar building school, and usually we do have a very big community of guitar builders who basically build replicas of Strats and Tellys and stuff like that, and have the mentality of, this is how it has been always done, so this is how it always must be done. And there is very little room for creativity because everything has to be made out of a certain wood that is a certain thickness, that is in exact weight with exact grain patterns, which to me sounds boring. There's so many people who do that, why not make something different? So 16 inches is something that works, I find comfortable, so I make the guitars that I want to make. If other people find those comfortable, then that's just a bonus for me. But yeah, outside the box, exactly, pretty much. I haven't seen too many fretboards made out of Carillion birch, and this is something that really, really interests me, and I have readily available. So if it turns out to work and function very well, this might become a sort of regular thing that I do. I must say that there is absolutely nothing wrong with making replica instruments. If you know how to do it well, they turn out looking amazing and playing amazing. Just not my cup of tea. There's already people who make that. I want to make something different. And this is a very rare instance where you'll see me working on a one-piece neck, because that's not something I usually do. And probably, I'm not really sure if I'll do it again. I might, but most likely not. I like me some multi-laminate necks. Just out of stability reasons, mostly. This table is the worst thing in the world for doing something like this, because it wobbles along with me. Not the most reliable thing in the world, I'll say that much. But for lack of better things. Oh, I never started recording with this. Whoops. Okay, well. There. I might have to actually put on some 120, because this is taking a bit longer than I really need it to. Besides that feels spent. So let's just replace the sandpaper. I can feel it's not really doing much, so that's the point of really moving on, putting on some new paper. Come on. All right. Instagram questions. Let's see. Let's see if there are questions on Instagram. This time around, I asked people to ask me anything, and nope. Didn't get any questions. That's fine. You mentioned the community of luthiers is big there. We don't have schools here. Yeah, I mean, luthiery and guitar building or instrument building courses and schools, they don't have them everywhere, certainly, but I don't, I wonder when it started. I could easily just Google when the thing started here, but oh, this was 120, no wonder. It's completely spent, doing nothing. Yeah, so there is a fairly large guitar building community in Finland, which is really funny. I don't know why. The maker space that I go to, more than half of the hobbyists that go to that workshop are guitar builders, which is also really funny. We have a lot of really great domestic builders here, like for instance the Ruokangas guitars, there's Flaxwood guitars, Asgard guitars, Raato Customs, and so many more that I can't even think of names of. And the guitar building school itself is something that I decided that I didn't want to go to because I love woodworking in all its, you know, various forms. And I do like building furniture. I do like building other things. And I also wanted to basically not limit my skills. That if I was just gonna go and study to be a luthier, that my woodworking skills would be oriented toward luthiery and not woodworking generally when applied to other things. Instead, I wanted to utilize what I learned in school about general woodworking and cabinetry and stuff like that to my knowledge of building guitars. So far, it has only been beneficial that I learned basic woodworking stuff and joinery. It has gotten me pretty far and has helped me understand how wood and things work a little better, and tools, how tools work. We have to learn by our own. Hey, when it comes to guitar building, like I said, I didn't go to a school for it. I learned by myself. I watched YouTube videos and basically just started customizing guitars, and I started making them by myself. Had nobody to teach me or tell me I was wrong. I had to learn through mistakes. And quite honestly, I think that that is probably the best way to learn about stuff. If you do go to a guitar building school, then that is not at all a wasted talent. That is some of the stuff that they teach you at really good luthier schools. It's just amazing. But you do need to remember that when you're out of that school, you probably don't have the same kind of tools at your disposal that you might have there. Which is a big reality shock for some. Trying to build guitars with limited tools. Is it easy to get a course there? I'm looking for a school once pandemic is over. There are a lot of different places that you can go. depending on how far you want to go from Ecuador, thinking that there is, for instance, in the States, there's a good few different schools. There's Roberto Ben, which is what Christopher from Crimson went to, and he taught me a hell of a lot. There's so many things that he learned from there, and the stuff that they make at Roberto Ben are crazy. They are very talented teachers. Just have a look. It's in Arizona. Yeah. Let's see. Now, there's a few different ways that you can go about things, honestly. I start with your videos too. Well, thank you very much. There's a few different ways where you can go about learning and becoming an apprentice for luthiery. Sure, you can go to a course. There's a couple of different places that do it. You can just Google and do research on guitar building courses and see where they have different ones. I know people are going to comment, so I'm not forgetting the fact that Crimson also has. I'm just trying to think of what would be easier to get to from Ecuador, but nothing's coming to mind right now. But yeah, Crimson has courses. There's courses in Europe. I know there's courses in Australia. I'm sure you could find something a bit closer. There's tons in States if you just do some research. But another way of doing things is literally trying to get an apprenticeship at some guitar maker. So literally just trying to go into local luthiers and asking them for apprenticeships or whether they take apprentices. And you already have a solid background of making a few instruments and they are phenomenal already, so you're well ahead of the curve. So you might have a pretty good shot at getting luthier apprenticeships from some other local luthiers. So it's well worth trying to see what you have locally and then start incrementally expanding that and trying to see if you can find courses or schooling. Oh, that makes a ton of a difference. It goes without saying, if I had a workshop, I would totally let you come and apprentice for me. Just saying. Thanks, I was looking at Crimson. Here, folk music is more popular, but I want to go for electric. Oh, here, folk music is more popular. Oh, took me a while. I had to read that twice. Yeah. Yeah, I got what you meant. Need to do some research. I'm actually really curious to see what would be local to you or closer to you, see if there's anything applicable. Another really good thing to keep in mind, if you can't find anything, ask your local music stores if they know that there are any local luthiers out there. They might know because they work in the same kind of industry. Yes, I meant Ormsby. Yep. They, every now and then they have the courses and then they take them off again. So I don't know how they do it or when they do it, but I've noticed that they have some. There's a bunch of more interesting things that I was supposed to do this stream, but I really need to get the fretboard radius before I get to those things. So bear with me here. I'm getting there. The really nice thing about working with such old woods that I've had in storage for God knows how long is the fact that they are bone dry and have been settling in for years now, so I don't need to worry about them twisting or anything like that at any point. What finish will you use for the clear wood? I like oil finish, but it's clear wood. It gets stained. Oh, you mean like natural wood? Oil. Love the stuff. It's so easy to apply and it looks great and it feels great. Basically. Like, while I have a background in spray finishing, I do love me a good oil finish. So that's what this is going to get finished with as well. I'm going to use tongue oil for this time around. I used to use the Crimson Guitars guitar finishing oil, which is really fantastic, but I'm trying to look for some other alternatives. So that's why I'm trying out tongue oil. Yes, oil is the best, but I get stains from the use. What do you mean? Sorry, I might just be not... My brain just might not be working right now, but I'm not sure what you mean. Do you get stains from the oil, you mean? to have to use a bit of a higher grit to get a better bearing on things. So I'll need to get rid of there a little bit. And then looks like there's a little bit of tear out right here that I need to get rid of. That's a shame. Let's have a look at my depth of my slots right now. Oh, plenty. Yeah. No issue whatsoever. Yeah, I'll be fine. It just looks thinner because the end of it has been routed away a little bit. Like dirt stains from the fingers gets pretty dirty. Use gloves. Maybe that helps. What oil are you using that it picks up the stain from your fingers? But yeah, in general, like whenever doing any kind of finishing at all, you should use gloves when putting it on. If you're talking about your fingers stain it after it has been oiled, then I don't think the oil has properly cured yet, or you haven't buffed it completely out or buffed out the excess, because it shouldn't do that. Because for instance, here we go. The Daedalus prototype, which is a birch body, it's been finished with oil, and yeah, I actually didn't even have gloves on, I don't think, when I did this, because I don't like the feel, because I want to feel when I'm buffing it, and when I'm buffing it, it feels a bit sticky because I have gloves on. But if I don't have gloves on, I can actually feel when it starts to buff out properly and get to a really smooth finish. The first layers that I do, I always put on with 1200 grit paper, wet and dry 1200 grit paper. So I use that to apply the first layers of oil, and then go from there, building it up slowly but surely. I don't know the name in English. It's called linaza oil. Oh, so that's probably linseed oil that you're talking about, I think. Gets dirty after I let it absorb. Yeah. It could be that it's not properly penetrating the wood and curing, that it is somehow still remaining a little tacky, and then it's picking up dirt from that. Could be, maybe. But that does sound weird to me. Because it shouldn't do that. Not really. Or you could just have a bad batch of oil. That is also something that might cause stains and stuff. I'll send a picture on Instagram of it. Thanks. I'll let you know what it looks like or what I think it might be. But yeah, it sounds very strange. Please do send a picture. All right, so what we're gonna do is clean up, and we're gonna move ahead to doing side dots, because I do need to get the ball rolling here. So you're not just watching me sand a fretboard down the entire stream. That is not interesting to watch for anybody. All right. Look at that for now. All right. So, side dots. Let us do side dots. So we're looking at 1, 2, just to make sure the music was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Wait, hold on. Yep, no. 12, 15, 17, 19, 18, 20, 21, 22, 24 would be there, but I'm not going to put markers there. God. Dust in there. Okay, so what we're going to do for side dots is some brass tubing. So we're going to use some brass tubing like this, and essentially what we're going to do is mark out from the mark out from the middle transfer lines here. So I know what I'm doing. All right. Any inlays on the fretboard? No, none on the fretboard. Originally, I was thinking of having the name Celeste on the 12th fret, but I decided against it, so I'm just going to leave it as is, and instead going to do the pearl logo inlay on the headstock. It's also very strange to not do inlays because that's something I really love doing, but yeah, not on this one. Then the fretboard thickness is, I'm going to take from the bottom of the fretboard here, I'm going to do 3 mil and cross sect that with the line that I drew, and that gives me a contact point. So I'm going to use a brad awl just to mark it out. Three mil from the bottom of the fretboard. There. A little bit more light. There. On the bottom. And the reason why I take the measurement from the bottom of the fretboard is because as I'm radiusing, well, I mean, it'll be a constant throughout, but I have a much more concrete line on the bottom of the fretboard than I do on the top. So I follow that because of that reason. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, I always check and double check and recheck. That's how I roll. Now the 12th fret, I am going to first get my center line, and then I'm going to divide that up into 2 as well. There. I have the center line, the 12th fret, and then there. The wingate and walnut are really similar color here, so it's really annoying trying to get the right contact point here. As long as the 12th fret, as long as they are, you know, at an equal height, then the rest will not look weird if they're a bit off. But those will definitely show. And then at the end of the fretboard, they need to be closer up together too. I don't have too much stream time left, so I'm just gonna hopefully finish up these inlays and then go. Need to go do groceries still today. I need to make food, dinner, and stuff like that. You know, adulting, which sucks, but must be done. Last one. Alright, there we go. Then it is time to check what diameter this inlay is. It is 2.5. Yep, 2.5. All right, cool. So, I'm gonna show you a little bit of how I usually approach this. I am gonna put on goggles due to some super boost blurting that's bound to happen. So 2.5, a little bit. There's that one. So this is the one that's busted. Let's see if I have another one. Yep, 2.5, the one that I am missing. Am I? Is this 2.5? Ooh, is that 2.5? That might be 2.5. Might have gotten lucky there. Yeah. Yep. All right. So. Essentially, is this bit twisted? There's a little bit. Shouldn't be fine. Should be fine though. All right. So, first things first. Drill the hole. Then put in the glue. I think there's dried up glue in there. All right, well. Put in the glue. Put in the inlay. And then I trim the inlay with a jeweler's saw, because if I cut it with clippers, the inlay will look more oval because it doesn't actually, because it presses it due to it being tubing. So instead, the reason why I have my safety goggles on is because now, just a couple of taps, and if there were glue spurting out, then that would go into my eyes, possibly, and that would suck. So yeah, essentially like that. Oh, gotta go, bro. Keep up the good job. I'll send you a couple of stuff while I'm working on. Thanks for popping by, Almar. Always good to have you. Next up. You wouldn't believe the amount of times that it has happened that the side dot inlays have been forgotten, the neck has been glued, They need to figure out how the hell you're going to get slide dots in there without destroying the guitar. I mean, certainly, I have never done that. I have, trust me. But, yeah. Got it done though. It was annoying, but got it done. Just needed a bit of a extension bit to actually get the job done. Alright. So now it's just a matter of putting in all the inlay. Don't need too much glue. It will stay in there pretty well. Where did I put myself? There. I can hear you shouting. I am gonna move my hand away. Don't worry. This will also be the opportune moment to realize that I've put the inlays in the wrong place. Which now I'm paranoid, I must recheck. 3, 5, 7, 9, 12, 15, 17, 19, 20, 21. 3, 5, 7, 9, yeah. Great. Great, I got it. It's one of those very weird things where it's like you start doubting yourself a lot. At least I do, almost every time I do this. Which makes no sense. I've done it a million times over, but it still gets to me. Yay! Yay! There we go. Then the next one. Whoops. It's a good bit of glue. Fortunately at this stage, it does not matter. A few more to go, and then we're actually done for today. Got off to a pretty slow start, but got there in the end. Once I have all these in, I'm just going to file them down with probably a fret leveling file, and then I'm going to use a leveling beam finish that off. Actually, leveling file, clean out the middles, probably put in some walnut dust, and then leveling beam. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Now there's glue on my blade, so it is pretty much unusable after this. But that's no issue at all. There. A couple of more. Well, 4 more. It's quick work. Whoops, that's a lot of glue. And the last one. Oof, that's a lot of glue. I can feel it in my nostrils. There. Put the cap on the glue. Like so. And we are done for today. I'll show you the results. So, oh man, these goggles gave me such a headache. So what we got done today is we got the truss rod access, we got most of the radius done, there's still just a little bit right here that needs doing, and we put in the side dots. Yeah, still plenty to do on the neck or the guitar in general, but we made good progress today. It was fun. I'm gonna just clean things up, wrap up a couple of things, and I will see you guys on Sunday with a new video. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye bye.